What's the risk of, why is that component deemed at risk around delivery right now?
Thank you, Chair. The mobility risk, we have deliberately not gone into the specifics of what that element is on the vehicle. We would consider that would be important information, and we would therefore need to protect that information. It relates to the mobility of the vehicle going across, the terrains I mentioned, but we have not been specific on what part of that area we are focused on at the moment. Well, I can say, though, that we have been working with our industry partners on a very deliberate plan to address that issue. That issue is undergoing right now testing and trialling, and we're doing more of that, particularly in Q3 this year. And we are confident on the pathway that we have determined with industry to resolve that mobility issue. But, Chair, I'm not going to call out specifically what that issue is at this stage in this environment.
Is that right? ANAO, is that the appropriate classification to not go into what the mobility issues are?
Chair, Ian Goodwin, ANAO. So the Auditor General's report has summarised it in terms of the context of mobility. So we have worked with the department around the level of classification that would go to. Mobility obviously goes to the ability for a infantry fighting vehicle to move across a complex terrain, and there would be a range of factors within it. The issue that we do call out in the audit, the Auditor General's audit, is around the trade-offs between commonality benefits and integration that go to whether schedule or cost or time risks become an issue that needs to be mitigated and managed. And it goes very much to the issue, while the audit doesn't call out that there should have been a military off-the-shelf system, the audit does point out that through the life cycle of the early tender process, they did move through mature and proven as a concept. The tenders that were listed were developmental, acknowledged by Defence, and the question then becomes how you integrate those developmental aspects. But the department is correct in terms of how the audit is characterised. We don't go to the detail of what that mobility is.
$7 billion taxpayer dollars on brand new infantry fighting vehicles, and Defence can't even tell Parliament why they might get stuck in the mud. That was Major General Jason Blain playing his cards so close to his chest you'd think he was guarding nuclear launch codes. Why is the vehicle at risk? Top secret. Which part is failing? We have deliberately not gone into the specifics. How convenient. When bureaucrats mess up the basics, they love hiding behind operational security. But Auditor General official Ian Goodwin spilled the real tea. Defence didn't just buy a proven off-the-shelf combat vehicle. They chose a custom, developmental nightmare and added their own tweaks. So now we're left with very high risks to basic mobility, surging costs, and a schedule blowing out to December 2028. When will Canberra learn? Stop reinventing the wheel with public cash. Buy gear that actually works, deliver it on time, and stop treating parliamentary oversight like an inconvenience. Taxpayers deserve real answers, not bureaucratic evasions.